Hello, and welcome to my review of Higurashi Tai. If you're new here, welcome. Um, Basically, I run an anime weeb variety channel sort of thing where we do a lot of stuff mainly related to anime themed stuff and some horror stuff. We do have a full reaction to both Higurashi Tai and the first season of Higurashi if you are interested. Full length reactions on the channel. So check that out if you haven't and you're interested. I mean, don't check it out if you're not interested. But yes, I really liked Tai. I thought it was great. And I will say right off the bat, people told me before I started the anime the Dean run is pretty, like, I had a decent handful of people saying the Dean run is pretty bad. Well, I can understand why they would say that about season 1 for sure, even though I don't fully agree, because there definitely are, I would say, problems with season 1. Kai is really good. I don't think people would, like, just for any visual novel reader that hasn't watched Tai, and just because they didn't like the first season, I would definitely recommend watching Kai. I think they do a really good job. I think obviously there's stuff here and there, it's not a quote unquote perfect adaptation of the visual novel, but I think it feels a lot smoother, mainly because they have 24 episodes for 3 arcs, while the first season had 26 episodes for 6 arcs, which is, it's a lot to pile in. I wish obviously, if they had like all the time in the world, they probably would have extended the arcs more, and did more seasons, but that's not how the real world works, eh? But no, I really enjoyed this. I thought they did good. This would just go arc by arc. So, okay, forgive me. I don't remember the first arc. It's an anime exclusive arc, apparently made because the author asked them to do it, and it really does fill in a lot of the stuff they skipped in the first season, which was really nice. They showed their own variation of the end of Higurashi with Keiichi running through post massacre Hinamizawa, though with Satoko this time, which is really dope. I thought it was really good. Seeing and it was a good bait because I thought it was Higurashi for a little while. And I love original Higurashi content. It's something I'm craving. I love the story so much. I can vividly reimagine a bunch of the stuff, but when you hit me with something new, it gets me excited. So I'm really happy they did that. It was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting that. So Higurashi, also very good. Cutting down on the child center war, I thought was probably a positive overall, just because that's such a large part of Higurashi. While like the last third of Higurashi is goated in my book in terms of the visual novel. Yes, if you watch the reaction, I wasn't exactly overjoyed with the Takano massacre scene, and I just after that the Hinamizawa massacre scene. But like I said, after letting it marinate for a bit, it's good. It's a good adaptation. The bar's just set too high to really top the visual novel, just for my book, but yeah, it's good. People love it. I'm sure it's also a case of whatever you saw first might just be your favorite. But yeah, I thought Higurashi was pretty faithful, at least, I think. Besides, again, the child center arc thing, but I'm fine with them cutting some stuff from that. Also, if you're interested in, like, reviews of certain episodes, sorry, self-shilling again, you can just check out the reaction for that episode, and I do give a review at the end of the episode, so you can get like a if you want me to focus specifically on an episode, that's probably a better way to do that, because I'm being more broad here. And Matsuri Bayashi, I think, was probably my favorite out of the Thai anime run. I do like how they did the fragment stuff. It was different, but I think it really worked well. I still hold the position that if they just did 30 seconds showing Hanyu and Rika connecting fragments and just explaining it for a minute maybe at most, it would have been closer to the visual novel and still made sense. But this way was perfectly fine, and it was definitely a worry for me. I thought it might be hard to do, but they did good. I think it maybe it didn't do as good of a job as hyping up Tomotaki and Irie as it did in the visual novel, because those were always middle characters for me, just because they don't have enough character development, while the visual novel, Matsuri Bayashi changed that, while the anime maybe changed that, but not, I wouldn't imagine as much. But the Takano backstory was great. Takano definitely has the strongest. I always say, at least in terms of the visual novel, because I know actually in the first season of the anime they did screw Keiichi's backstory pretty hard. But I do think the visual novel is very good at showing characters' backstories through flashbacks and stuff. Obviously, Miyoko's had a lot more time, but it was really good, and I think they did a very effective job in the anime showing it. Yes, they did skip one of my favorite scenes with adult Mio grabbing the legs of those guys when they were canceling the project, but that's okay. I'll let it slide. It's also just nice to see actually no, we're still talking about the story. I thought obviously the Satoko Wars, it's not called what do I call it? Oh yes, the Satoko Hill Massacre. It's my dubbed title for the club members beating a group of armed trained mercenaries, mainly because of Satoko and Mion. They did a great job at that. It was a great scene anyways, in the visual novel, so basically I'm pretty pleased. Besides the hiccup with Minaguroshi kind of with the scene where I might have sounded saltier than I was. I didn't really have much problems at all with the anime. Yeah. I mean, you gotta talk about the anime or the animation style. It's such a big glow up. We saw a nice little preview from the OVA, but it looked so much better. No offense to the first season. I thought while it looked stuffed, I was kind of okay with it just as the original art of the visual novel looked stuffed, in my opinion. I know people love it. I don't really, to be honest, but it really looks better. And just doing a little research just from when I was doing the Higurashi post-Thai update video, they did just change the art director, so very happy about that. I made these statements before, but I do think Takano actually looks better in the anime. Same with Oishi. So there definitely are glow-ups. Yes, my boy Kumagai still looks really stuffed, but can't really blame them for that. Maybe in Go they will change how Kumagai looks according to. I mean, I guess there just isn't a sprite for him, but I don't know if they made a Steam sprite for him. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Just good animation, you love to see it. And obviously, when they do the silly fun stuff, season 1 was really good at that too. Just high energy, wacky animations. Yeah. Voice acting obviously is good too. That's not really anything in question. I would imagine any even people who don't like the Higurashi anime would say the voice acting is good just because they literally have the same cast as the visual novel. You know, I love Mio's voice actress. I love Mion's voice actress. Those are my two goated. And my favorite guy voice actress is obviously Keiichi's. But yeah, good stuff. Soundtrack, you know, I'm not actually playing the soundtrack just because I don't. It's such a long soundtrack. I really haven't given it a listen to, so I'm just not right now. I probably will in the future, but I do think I noticed it more in Kai. Maybe it's just because I was focused, I was focused on both of them. I was enjoying Kai a bit more, but I do actually remember some songs. I remember their sad song, mainly because, you know, it was trying to fill the hole left by not having a hollow in it, and it was decent. Their hype song. Okay, I'm kind of drawing a blank, but I do think it's good. Again, I've already made my stance clear about OSTs, and I literally say it in every review, but I will just continue saying it just because it's my philosophy. I like overpowering music soundtracks more than atmospheric ones, and I think this the soundtrack in the anime is very atmospheric, which I think is probably like what majority of people like anyways. Like, I think a good balance is like 80% atmospheric, 20% overpowering, but I think the majority of animes do like a 90-10 split or whatever. But anyway, it's literally not a big deal. I really don't care. So but yeah, trying to think of negatives. I really don't have negatives. I can't stress like again, I thought the first season was good. I think this season was great. I just have I just would just talk about favorite stuff because I don't really have anything critical to say. Favorite couple, I mean, it's always been Keiichi Mion. Though I will say, post visual novel, it's kind of been growing on my heart, and it's not even a ship because it's just real, which is Mion and Tomotaki's. I love their couple. It's like something I literally didn't care about till like Higurashi, kind of, and then Matsuri Bayashi. That final scene for Takano's basically whole character arc with the Tomotaki HUD was actually great. So you love that. But I mean, yeah, I've always been Keiichi Mion team. Sorry, Rena fans. I do appreciate Hanyu more. Hanyu is a character that I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care too much about in Higurashi. In Matsuri Bayashi, you care about her a little more. But, you know, seeing more and more Hanyu makes her grow on me. I think it's also just a fact that she sounds so much like Maria from Umineko, and I didn't really like Maria at all. It's like subconsciously kind of affected my view of Hanyu. Also just because I really didn't like her in Higurashi. But I'm liking Hanyu more. Oh, what am I doing? We almost forgot about talking about the most important part. The post-credit scenes. Oh, baby. Those were so funny, man. Dark Rika's corner with the animations kind of looking like the Fate animations from like Taiga's Dojo from the visual novel. I think they do it in Carnival Phantasm too. But like, oh my god, that shit was so, I mean, most of it was hits. I really like that. Like, I like the poems in the first season. I appreciate poetry. I actually took a 1 semester class of poetry in university just because I got hyped up by my teacher when he complimented me on my poetry skills. So I liked it. I liked the poetry, but like meme stuff like this is so fun, and I feel like a lot of animes don't play around with their post credits, mainly because I guess a lot of people just skip the credits. Obviously, I'll be honest, usually I do skip the credits in back in my high school days, but I now appreciate the credits. I appreciate the music and the credits, so I love that. And when we talked about music, we forgot to talk about the opening and the ending. I think they were great. I think the opening, both of them were better than the first season, though the first season had a really good ending. Like, I was not expecting the Kai to have a better ending, at least in my opinion, than the first season, and it did. I think Kai's ending is probably my favorite piece of my favorite song for openings and endings on the channel so far. You know, that might change in the future, but it was so good. And the opening is pretty good. Aiden, is it Cheer Boys good? It's debatable. Is anything Cheer? No, I'm joking. I actually do think it's a little better than Cheer Boys. Ending, opening. Ending's not even a real question, to be honest. But yeah, great opening and ending. Good job. They've been pretty solid in that throughout the anime. So I hope when we start Ray in a bit, it will keep up the trend. But you can only hope, I guess. All right. Think again, Aiden, because, you know, if we missed talking about Dark Record's Corner, that would have been a disaster. Anything else super important? Not really. I guess it's just a note that my subs weren't as good as the first season, but that's like not the anime's fault. I was just using a different translator team, and, you know, no disrespect to the translators, you know, they're doing it for free, which is more than, you know, most people do for stuff, so you appreciate them for sure. I think it's just important to point out that at least my viewing experience for subtitles alone was better in season 1. You know, if you can get that subtitle team, whose name I don't remember because I put that season away in my hard drive, external hard drive. But yeah. The one negative, the bad subs, kind of. I think I'm good. What a nice review. I barely said anything negative. I can't think of anything, man. I liked almost all of it, and I'm really excited to watch the rest of the Dean run. Is it Dean still for the OVAs? I don't know if they actually switched to another studio, but I'm excited. I think as good as Kai is, if they keep the same team, they can make some really good stuff for like old original Higurashi content. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for watching. If I missed any aspect of Kai, because again, this is just me just saying what's on my mind. I don't strip stuff. I'm too lazy. But yeah, if you have any, like, if I missed a topic or you just have a comment about Kai you want to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments. I will be more than happy to respond. And if you enjoyed this content and you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We do a lot of anime related content. We've recently started doing anime reactions this year. It's been very fun. Also, obviously, with that comes anime reviews. So if that floats your boat, then yeah, I definitely would ask you to think about staying around. I don't know how to put that, but yeah. Anyways, thank you for your time. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you again in the future. Bye.